Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today, I would like to present my project IMOS for subject STID 3014 Database System and Information Retrieval. This was prepared by me, Muhammad Afizuddin, and my friend Azbesha. This project was prepared for Dr. Hamirwani binti Abdul Hambali. Next. For the introduction, mosque is a sign or symbol for Muslim. It is a place to do the main worship for Muslim. We should emphasize the role of mosque by having a appropriate system to manage the mosque. The mosque is not just a place for worship, but also a place to spread the knowledge. Because of their awareness, this project was created. Problem statement. Visitors who visit the mosque do not know about the schedule of talk. Visitors start to miss the program organized by the mosque. Visitors do not know activity at the mosque and when talk delivered at the mosque. So this one of the problem why we see when we do a research. For the scope, for the project planning and design, this is scope. Our scope is Universiti Utara Malaysia UMC Sinto has our location, and student and staff who visit every day the Sultan Badishah Mosque is our priority. So for the content progressing is subject to video talk and activities organized by the mosque only. So this project scope only for the mosque at Universiti Utara Malaysia. So for the student and staff only are recorded for using this project. So all the programmation we do the chat at the most too. So for the methodology, we use Agile as the preferred methodology with Scrum framework. As a Scrum Master, Azmisha is responsible for making the process run smoothly, removing obstacles and their impact productivity, and for organizing and facilitating the critical meeting. Obviously, is part of Scrum team. That was me. I'll do hands work on developing and testing the product. Most Scrum projects borrow the extreme programming or XP practice of describing a feature request as a user story. So this is our business plan, economic feasibility. Estimate are made to discover the cost to develop or receive the software. As you can see from the table, there are 5 things we are going to list down. For the first, we're going to software and hardware costs. There are several items we need to have before we start using the project. So for the application software, it costs us for around 280. So for the domain, 50 ringgit. Database software, so for the software we're going to buy it for 1,599 ringgit. For the database server, our own server, for best security, we are going to pay for 10,000. Before we start to do all the project, we also do have a training about PHP crash course training. It costs us 1,000. SQL crash course training 1,002. This training to avoid from crash happen when maintaining the database. For overhead, for the building, we need to pay the cost for the building. For the monthly cost, it costs us 2,750 ringgit. For the total is 7,700. So for the salary that we are getting from this project is average around 11,000 to 10,000. For total for this project going to build is 45,999 ringgit. Okay, this one is for the technical. So for the technical feasibility, we're going to list down all the software and programming language that necessary to perform the development activities. For the item and vendor, we got 11 software or language. First, we're going to use Windows 10 from the version 1607. It was an operating system. Or we also do Mac OS Sierra Apple Inc. from the Apple. For the end version is 10.12.6. It was operating system also. For the Word, we're going to do the subdocumentation tool. We're using to Word 2016. Microsoft Project for student enrichment tool. For the programming, we're using the PHP Storm JetBrains for user interface design tool, and Adobe Photoshop for graphic editing. StarUML has our UML modeling. Visual Paradigm, UML modeling also. SQL Server, database management system. Trello has a project management, and Pigma, wireframe design. So this is schedule for our facility. This facility, we have milestone, and state our schedule by referring to product backlog. So this is backlog. So there is a 12 backlog we have here. As you can see, there is 6 admin can do from the system. So there's one is login the system. As admin, I can add any only the top video. As admin, I can add list most activity announcement. Admin also can edit top schedule detail, and admin can blast email to the user. As admin, you can list of subscriber. As user, I register to the website, and so on. So this is our use case diagram. There's got manage login and register 1, manage stock and video, manage do, manage subscription, manage most, view most event as do, view video, and view FAQ. For our relationship, this is we got 8 table. There was an admin, category, comment, most event, do, subscription, user, and video. For the each table, it contain for the user, it contain name, user ID, address, phone number, email, and username. Also for password. Primary key was used is user ID. For the admin, we're going to admin ID, name, address, phone number, email, username, password. Also primary key was admin ID lah. For the video, we got a video ID, title, description, author, date, speaker, content, category, admin ID. It was a foreign key, and category ID. It also a foreign key. For the category, we got 2 category ID and name, and the primary key was category ID. For the comment, we got comment ID, comment author, comment date, comment, and user ID, video ID. User ID was a foreign key, and video ID also a foreign key. This one is from the previous is what we got also schedule. For schedule, we got schedule ID, product type, date and time, description, speaker, admin ID has a foreign key and author. So the subscription ID, user ID, admin ID. User ID and admin ID was a foreign key. Subscription ID is primary key. Most event, we got event ID, event name, event description, date, and admin ID. Admin ID was a foreign key, and the primary key is event ID. So this is our ER diagram. We are using Chrome for develop our ER diagram. As you can see, we got user, category, comment, video, admin, most event, and subscription. All the characters will be assigned with the condition. For example, For the user ID, we're going to set it as an integer, name as varchar, address, and so on. So these are one of the basic SQL command. So as you see, to view the table, the command that you need to use selects all from category. A function of the star special key was to represent all. Okay. This one to insert into table. As you can see, we got 8 table. So for the first, for the example, we're going to add one table, which is user. We're going to add azohydrous. Okay, this one for the delete from table. As you can see, from the first page, the Ustad Idrus was there, and next, after we use the command, execute the command, Ustad Idrus was deleted, successfully deleted. As a conclusion, this system was successful and there's no error in running SQL command. All tables are connect each other and command for inner join also can be executed. Beside that, all the user command are successfully achieved. For this session, we suggest that this database may be able to improve in any table in the future of the system. Moreover, the system also user friendly as the system is easy to understand and can be handled by amateur user. Limitation. Also, this ISMO system may be very useful to deliver the information and activity. There is a limit on user which is scope for staff and student only. The system may be able to be used with a larger scope rather than student and staff of UM only. Okay, next we're going to show you a little bit about our program. So we're going to use PHP MyAdmin. Before we start our PHP MyAdmin, we need to install the XAMPP control panel first, and we're going to start it with the Apache and MySQL, and then you go to the browser and type localhost. Will show you. Let me show you. So, for example, we type localhost. So we're going to use to show you dashboard. So to insert the database, you click PHP MyAdmin. It will bring you to the main page. So for the project, we're going to see eMORS. So as you can see, there's 8 table. So for the 8 table, we're going to test some SQL command for this project. I have copied to my Word. So let's say we're going to test update the detail. Okay, we copy it and we paste over here. For okay, let me talk first. Update admin was a table. Set name was attribute, and for name also attribute. Okay, admin ID is our primary key. Okay, let's we add and see what happened. Okay, one row has affected according to this. Let me see. To see the table, so we have update in table admin. So the name before this was Azmisha, and after we update, it show you start Azmi, and phone number also change. Next, going to show you a little bit about select SQL statement where select user or data. with later. Let's say let's try like this. Control. So let me see what I have in user database. Okay, this is user table. So in this table we got five name. It was Polan, Pulun, Pilin, Pusun, Pisin. So everyone has assigned with a user ID from 4 to 8. Let's go back to our SQL command. So this one we're going to select from user, table user, where address like C. Okay, C has a letter first. So for the assign C, it was first letter of C, and for the address like C, you see from the table user, there's 3% in the table was in Cheras C. Yeah, Pusun, Pilin, Pulun, and the address have three data, which is Alugajah, Cheras, and Seremban. Let's try execute this command. Okay, as you can see, it only show you the letter of C has a first letter of C address Cheras. So the last is as I told before is our 3% who address start with T. This is Pulun, Pilin, and Pusun. Let's see over here. Okay. Next, we're going to test. So this one for okay. This one command for not like. The one before is like, so it will paste everything with address that start with C. So next we're going to test address not C. That's mean not like, it means it's not going to show you the first letter C. It will not show up like this. So as you can see, there's Poland PC before, and the letter first letter of address is not C, so it's not like C. So this one for the to create an alias, let's try. So for the alias, you're going to user ID has ID and name has name. So you're going to change the attribute name has a temporary. Let's see first what in user ID that is going to change. As I said before, user ID says gonna change user ID, name as ID, and name still has a name. So let's see, is it true? Yeah, it's true. Going to show you the ID and name. So all the lists going to show up. So next we're going to test inner join. Okay. So for the inner join, we're going to combine two tables, which is admin ID and usual ID, as a one table. So if you want to use the inner join, first you gotta to know is there in student ID has admin ID has a foreign key. If there is no foreign key in the student ID, so that's mean admin ID will not be going to show up. Okay, let me show you. Okay, it's going to show you all combined suitable student ID and admin ID. So for the admin ID over here. Okay. Next, we're going to test. We're going to test count. Let's test. Okay, we're going to test. So as we said before, user ID in user. So from the coding over here, we're going to count user ID. So user ID. So there is 5 user ID, and it class it with address. I set it as address to group it by address. So I'm going to shorten down the list and show up the details, so there's no duplicate. So there's no duplicate. And one is okay. That's all for our presentation. Thank you so much.